Good evening. Welcome to another edition. Actually, the first episode in 2020 of Beards Without Borders. Let's fire this up. This is a custom made for me by ND Pipes. I'll put a link for them down below. I love this thing. And what's in it? Haunted bookshop. So we'll see how I can tolerate that tonight. Nice. What else did you expect me to say? How perfect. And a little bit of the same thing from last night. It's a Canada Dry Bold ginger ale. It's nice. With of course, everybody's favorite. With some ice, that's all. The flavor is magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Wow, the first Beards Without Borders in a long time. A lot of you know me from former Beards Without Borders episodes, don't you? Last night you probably saw me on the Markwood Men's Breakfast Club, and I did a live stream as well prior to that. But you did not see a Daybreak show today. I ended up going to bed at about midnight, which I never do. I usually go to bed about 8 o'clock, which I will be going to bed soon. It's still light outside, which is weird. I welcome it, although I was moaning and groaning about the darkness, being dark at 4:30 in the afternoon. But I'm glad we changed the clocks. And I woke up in the middle of the night from flashes of lightning, which I thought was my phone getting texts or something. I don't know. It was literally lighting up the room. And I kept, every time I could see it through my eyelids, I would reach over and turn the phone off. I keep the phone in my room. I know you probably should turn off the Wi-Fi at night. But being a father of 3 who don't live with me and the son of elderly parents, I need to be able to be reached if need be. So I keep the phone on. Anyone else can't reach me, but my loved ones can if need be. There was those flashes, and that woke me up. And that was going on. And I was like delirious because I really didn't, I was in La La Land, so to speak. It was kind of funny. And then, this is a Rattray's tamper with a pick that goes right into the actual body of the tamper. I like it. It's pretty cool. So I was in La La Land. I really didn't know what was going on. I just was waking up from the room, my bedroom, getting real bright. That happened for about 30 minutes. And then I was awakened by a crack of thunder. And then another bright flash. And then I thought, okay, thunderstorm. And then the rain, it was raining sideways. I could hear the rain pounding on the windows and on the roof. It was crazy. And that was going for about 90 minutes. And at that time, I was having a bad dream, and I have no idea why. Terrifying. It was a terrifying dream. but I don't remember what it was. So when it came time to get up to do the Daybreak show, I thought, no way am I going to get up. I looked like crap. I felt like crap, but I had to get to work by 7. So I got up without doing the Daybreak show, sad to say. And rightfully so. I needed just a little bit extra sleep. Made myself breakfast, a cup of coffee, and 2 Belgian waffles, the toaster waffles with maple syrup and some butter. And boy, that hit the spot. It was just perfect. And went to work and had a productive day. But I'm very tired right now. So I thought, what a perfect time to do Beards Without Borders, because I'm mellowed out. It's the end of my day. I have an adult beverage here. I can have my pipe with Haunted Bookshop in it. Wrong one. That goes out in the trash. And what a great time to talk about the world, which is what we do on Beards Without Borders. People who join and enjoy a broadcast such as Beards Without Borders, what we have in common usually is facial hair. And when I had the big beard, it was a very popular show that I did. And we talked about having peace. And I would frequently say, peace be with you. And of course, the proper response is, and also with you. How are you dealing with the chaos in the world right now? The pandemonium. What are you doing? You know, you've heard me say this on the Daybreak show. Turn off the news. It doesn't do you any good. It really, truly does not help you. It raises your anxiety level. And as a man, whether you are a young man or you are a middle-aged guy who is married and you have kids, or you're an older fella like myself, you need to be an example for your household and not visibly react to everything that you hear. And there's a lot of stuff that you could be hearing. I've always said this too. Think about it. When crap hits the fan, everybody looks to the guy with the beard. And if the beard is white, everybody looks to the guy with the white beard for wisdom in all the movies. What is the difference between being calm, genuinely being calm, and acting calm? What if you're not calm, but you learn how to act calm so no one else can detect it? My contention is that it will have the same effect on your family and friends and co-workers as if you were genuinely calm. No one knows the difference but you. And when you are calm in a time of chaos and pandemonium, people emulate that. They seek that out. You know, what do they say? Water finds its level. Well, peace finds its level when there's a person who is calm in the room, in the house. So here we are, wearing masks during the day. They're wearing masks in India, Pakistan, the UK, Norway, Russia, Romania, which is kind of weird because it's hard to get a real good seal with the beard. Oh, that is good. That is really good. So we're all wearing masks during the day. I know I am when I'm at work. When I go to the supermarket, I'm wearing a mask. It's the smart thing to do. Even though how can I put it? The doubter, the conspiracy theorist in me has opinions about those things. It doesn't necessarily help to wear your conspiracy theories on your sleeve, especially if you're around other people. Blessed are the peacemakers. Be a person of peace. And you do that by many times keeping your mouth shut. I know there's many people that are, the tell it like it is type of people. My father is one of those. I tell it like it is. I don't always think that telling it like it is probably the best thing to do, the most expedient in a situation. Ask yourself, will it create peace where you are, in your family, in your house, at your place of work? You get better at calm and being peaceful the more you practice it. And then what happens to you is that you end up becoming the source of sanity, clarity, and reason for the people who you are in charge of or you've been entrusted with. Some might say, isn't that a little bit egotistical? Not at all. You are a steward of those that are put in your sphere of influence. If you're constantly panicking, you're going to create panic. That's very contagious. In the same way, if you're calm, that's very contagious as well. And in a world of contagion, which is what we're all talking about every day, you put on the news, which I don't put on at all. I read the news. I don't watch the news. When you watch the news, it's filled with emotion, isn't it? When you read the news, it's almost facts only. That's why I like reading the news versus watching the news or listening to the news. We're watching globalism happen before our very eyes. That can be a good thing. That can be a bad thing. I do like the fact that people all over the world are dealing with this and are told to deal with it in a similar fashion. So that brings us together, that unites us. It also, think about this for a second, could be setting up the world for a one world government, a one world rule. Because just like that, we've been told to self-isolate, social distance, and I'm not putting any value judgment on that, saying it's good or bad. You have to do what is right for you, and I have to do what is right for me, and we will be judged for that. I'll be doing a video probably Friday about the state of affairs in Europe, and that'll be interesting from someone who lives in Europe. Not my opinion, not a second-hand observation, but for someone who is there. And that will be interesting. Look for that video. That'll be done after the Daybreak show. How do you remain calm within the context of hype, within the context of panic? What do you do to remain calm in your personal surroundings, with your family, or at work? What do you do? List it down below. Let me know the things that you do. I would like to hear that. Maybe there's some little technique that you have that you could share with people that they can utilize and adapt for their own life. There are people who are living in log cabins watching this right now. There are people who are living in cinder block buildings, apartment buildings, mini mansions, big mansions. There are people living in tree houses, tiny houses, huts, grass huts. The audience of Beards Without Borders is broad. There is no color, no race, no religion in Beards Without Borders. This show brings everybody together. There is no politics, there is no gender, and peace is something that we all benefit from. All of us, male, female, black, white, brown, English speaking, non-English speaking, wherever you are in the world. There are some people who are watching this right now who are hearing bombs and artillery going off in the distance. I hear lawnmowers and weed whackers and leaf blowers. What do you hear in your world? List it down below. I'd love to see that. What do you hear on a daily basis where you live? Do you hear people arguing, complaining? Do you hear people crying? Do you hear people in pain? Do you hear people celebrating? This is a few minutes of your day that you can put aside all of the negativity that you experience during the day. And I'm glad that you spent a little time with me. And maybe we'll keep the Beards Without Borders going on a once a week basis or something like that. Thanks for joining me. And as always, what I love to say at the end of every episode is peace be with you. And the proper response. If you believe this, this is what I want you to do. I would like you to put down below the words, and also with you. As I give you peace, I want you to receive it and also give it back to me. Every people, every tribe has a custom of passing the peace. I remember many years ago in the Roman Catholic Church that I was raised in, and also my mother's Orthodox church, they would talk about passing the peace. And at that time, it was just shaking hands in the pews in church. And there was something very unifying about passing the peace. It was almost like, I don't know if they exist much anymore. You know, candlelight services where one person would light a candle of the person next to them and it kind of went through the whole sanctuary. And before you know it, the entire sanctuary was lit from flames that were passed from person to person to person. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. I don't even know if people do candlelight services anymore. Gosh, they were precious now that I think back on it. I haven't experienced that in many years. So let me end by saying, peace be with you. And I hope you're well. I want the best for you. And thank you for joining me on the 2020 edition, the first one, Beards Without Borders.